Hello for the 19th week in Ordinary Time. First reading the Gospel. 1 Kings 19, 9 to 13, Matthew 14, 22 to 33. It's sort of strange. Today's Gospel reading is the same Gospel that we had last Tuesday. And right after Christ fed the 5,000, he tells his disciples, get into the boat, I'll meet you on the other side of the lake, and I got to stay back here and do a little praying, be by myself. And so they take off in the boat. Well, he apparently did his praying. He was by himself, and he didn't take a boat to get to the other side. No. Christ walks on the water. And he walks on the water, and somehow, at least in the story, he catches up with the disciples in the boat. And they say, it's a ghost. And it's a ghost? Yes, Jesus walking on the water. Wow. Well, we have our same old Peter. He's the impetuous one, and he looks to Jesus and he says, tell me to come to you on the water, walk on the water. And he does. And he walks on the water. But then he starts to think and sink. Think and sink. And he cries out after the ghost, save me, and Jesus Christ takes him by the hand or whatever and saves him. And he says, oh, Peter, you of little faith, why did you doubt? Well, compare yourself to Peter. You know, would you ask Christ, just tell me to come and walk on the water? Would you do it? And would you try it? And would you sink? Well, I think I'd not only sink, I think I'd drown. How about you? Faith, trust, this deep down belief in Jesus and what he's all about is not easily recognized or found. Well, all we had to do was call on the verse reading, Elijah. Elijah was looking for the Lord in a very special way, too. And so he was there up on Mount Horeb. He was in a cave. He was praying or whatever. And he was looking for the Lord. And so he goes to his way of looking for the Lord. And as it says, there was a strong, driving, heavy wind. He didn't find the Lord there in the strong wind. And then he experienced an earthquake. He didn't experience the Lord in the earthquake. And there was a roaring fire. He didn't experience God in the fire. And then he finally, as he goes out of the cave, he hears and feels a tiny whispering sound. And Elijah finds the Lord in a tiny whispering sound. It's sort of like Peter. He wanted to find the Lord and be very special by saying, tell me to walk on the water, tell me to come. But he sank. Elijah wanted it in the strong wind, or the earthquake, or the fire. He didn't get it there. He was looking for the big, the mighty, the ostentatious, and the wild good. He didn't find it there. He found it in the tiny whispering sound. Well, my question is, are you and I like Peter more? Or like Elijah more in the initial stages? Or are we more like Elijah in the latter? a tiny whispering sound. I don't know about you, but I find that tiny whispering sound powerful. But it's not just that, it's that tiny, quiet insight in my head sometimes. It's that tiny whispering sound or that tiny emotion or feeling in my heart sometimes. Where do you find your intimate relationship, faith in Jesus Christ? How do you experience this God of the universe, the Lord of the Old Testament, or Yahweh, or the Jesus of now? I don't know about you, but I'll bet on you too need to settle back and listen to and feel and experience like Elijah at the opening as he leaves the cave. I think that's spiritual life, or I think that's faith or belief, where you experience Jesus. Folks, don't expect to walk on water. Some people do. It usually doesn't work. Don't expect the great sign and the wild thing where you're just important now because of this. It doesn't work. Listen to your head. More so, even listen to your heart. Even more so, listen to your faith or your trust in Jesus in that tiny whispering sound. Have a good day. Hear the bell. A tiny whispering sound.